forum where we wanted to have an opportunity. I know there was a Zoom call, but we wanted to get the opportunity for the community to have a chance to see candidates and just doesn't get their pitch on why that should be so. Be elected. Ground rules are, you've got all three candidates, we have all the candidates here tonight, so we got three candidates for mayor. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask them to step up to the podium. Each candidate has 4 minutes to introduce themselves, make their pitch, address anything they would like within a 4-minute time period. After that concludes, I have 2 questions, and I will rotate, where I will ask each candidate. The time limit on that is going to be 2 minutes. I'm going to try to allow some latitude. I don't have a buzzer over here to tell me to cut anybody off. I ask everyone to be mindful of the time. We like to go from 7 to 8 o'clock, so we're on the schedule. When the council members come up, they will as well have 4 minutes to speak, introduce themselves, talk about their qualifications. They are free to respond to any of the questions that have been asked prior. That is their choice. Okay, we will not actually take questions to the audience. At 8 o'clock, assuming everything runs as on schedule, we will have a period where they each have their table, campaign literature. You are welcome to go and meet with any candidate you would like, one-on-one, asking whatever it is you would like to ask. So that being said, we'll go ahead and we decided to start in alphabetical order. So Brooke, you're up first, 4 minutes. Good luck to all the candidates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brooke Lyman. I'm running for mayor for the town of James Island. I'm really glad to be here tonight. I'd like to thank Doug and Exchange Club for hosting this. I've had many of you that I've been talking with ask for an in-person forum. So it's great that we can all be here tonight. I am not a politician. I've never run for public office before. I'm a community advocate. I've worked very hard for the 30 years that I've been in Charleston, in the community, in my neighborhood, and for the town of James Island. I've been involved with James Island since we got our town back on a continuous basis. You may remember we had 3 towns before we finally got this one, and this one has stayed. I was involved with James Island, getting signatures, holding garage sales, raising money for our corporation. Once we got our town back, I was appointed to the Board of Zoning Appeals. I've served there continuously for 11 years, 5 of those years as chair. We handled a lot of difficult cases, decisions that have to do with development on the island. We fought off car washes and gas stations and local follow the rules. We had to follow the rules. It's been a lot. But I'm glad to be here tonight. I can promise you that I will work hard to change zoning where I can to help stop development, stop bad development. I'm really excited about the opportunity of being the mayor. I'd like to tell you a little more about myself. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. I have a business background. I have a master's degree in business management. My marketing job brought me to Charleston originally over 30 years ago. I ended up at Bishop Gadsden a few years later. I was their first development director. Not development like we're talking about tonight, not the kind of development with all these houses on postage stamp lots and built up on tons and tons of fill and gravel and causing flooding problems and drainage, but the kind of development of fundraising, getting grants. I was involved with the first expansion of Bishop Gadsden. Then I got tired of my husband, gone all the time. He was a catastrophic insurance stuffer. So I got my license, joined him, and we had our own small business for the next 15 years. We were often the first people on the scene after disasters such as Pico that we all experienced here. We were there when the cadaver dogs were down here in Biloxi, Mississippi, after Katrina. So I know what it's like to hold people's hands after, catastrophic events and empathize with them. That's important because of where we live and you know how many hurricane scares we have every year. So I'm highly qualified to be your mayor, personality wise, educational wise. I'm a really hard worker. I've been president of Lighthouse Point Civic Club for 18 years. I have grown that membership from 15 to over 200. We have a beautiful Indian Mound Historical Park that we maintain. We have an annual event. We have financial volunteers. I've just had a great experience working with the people in my large neighborhood, and a lot of them know me through that. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. And I don't want to get too much over my time. I guess to give the news straight. But I did want to mention whatever four of y'all win for town council. I promise I will work really hard with you. No surprises. We'll all build consensus. We will really make our proud of us. I want to be a good leader. I love our island. Please vote for me November 7th. And thank you all so much.
Megan? All your event. Sir. How y'all doing this evening? Good. Good to see y'all. Don Reedy. So why should I be mayor? Okay, it's all about passion and the passion for the dog. I was born and raised on this dog. I love this dog. Born here, don't die here, stay here. Okay. While I have a degree in political science from the University of South Carolina, I am not a politician. Okay, I have no desire to go anywhere above this that we're talking about right now. I'm trying to go to the state or anything like that. I'm here for James Allen. Okay. I'm a small business owner. I run a charter business. I do both for 25 years now. Successful, which my parents, my wife still going to eat. But yeah, I'm a successful business owner. I'm not here to listen to myself talk, saying all the right things. I'm running to change. Okay, for change to occur, there must be a cohesive entity and absolute transparency between the mayor, the council, and the community. You guys have to talk to me. You know, if you have problems with something, you got to talk to the mayor, you got to talk to the council, you got to talk to everybody. Because everybody has problems and all like that. But guess what? If we don't all pull in together and figure this stuff out by ourselves, we're not going to fix it. It's just going to be pointing fingers to everybody else. It's their problem, it's their problem. What happens? I will try, Bruce, to get things done like cleaning the ditches. Huge on James Allen. I mean, my neighborhood it's a mosquito infestation. The ditches are just filled with water. They say the outfalls where actually rainwater runs out in the rivers and stuff like that. They say the outfalls are all clear. That's great, but if the water's not getting to the outfalls, guess what? It's not happening. Who cares if the outfalls, when the ditch is not clean? We need to have our ditch clean. Preserving green space. Okay, you got the build property right over there. You're gonna do it, your developers, as we've all heard, we're gonna provide green space. Guess what the developers do? They clear over green space, they give you 10 pallets of grass and put a swing set over it. We've created green space. Guess what? You should not destroy that green space. It's right there. It's all right there. Coyote population. We'll have a look at this. We have a coyote problem here in James Allen. See the little poster? Gas going, the dogs going on that. We have coyote problems. I talked with one of the wildlife guys yesterday, and I asked him, you know, is there really anything to really look at? I think we have, because you have no idea how many dogs
with the cell on, or road around. We need to look at stuff like that, to keep our community safe. I'm an eighth generation Charlestonian. My family got here in 1678. Okay, so we've been here a long time. Seen a lot of change. I'm proud to follow in the footsteps of my grandfather, W. Gresham Hagen. You may have heard of the school. He was integral in local politics in James Island community. Most importantly, he helped build W. Gresham Hagen School for African Americans during equalization. Okay. He saw that the kids on the island, black children, were not getting a fresh take at education. He built that school for them. He helped build the library downtown. He did a lot of civic stuff, and that's what I'm trying to follow in his footsteps right. So just to finish off, I vowed to find outright projects like fixing drainage on the not happening, as well as student solution. I'm trying to continue the sidewalk project. It will provide a safe space for our citizens to enjoy the island. I will work side by side with the council to provide distinct perimeters for short term rentals. It's a big thing on our island right now. It's very big, but I'm very big on individual property rights. So we can go through all that at a different time. I think I just got timed out here. Finally, I vow to save green space. I mean, there's not much of that. For those of us who are on the island, we lost in mind. They're trying, but there are green space. Thank you all for listening, and enjoy your. Thank you. I think that's all.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Josh Stokes, and I'm running to be your next mayor for the town of James Island. I feel like I should say that I'm not a politician, but I'm a politician. Everybody up here is a politician. You've seen our signs around the island for a number of weeks at this point in time. You've seen some of us going door to door. You've seen some of us sending out mailers. We are working to try and get elected for the town and to serve the town. I'm here to do that and to serve the residents of the town of James Island. Public service has always been near and dear to my heart. At a young age, I was encouraged to find ways to give back to my community. I've done that here on James Island in the past, and I will continue to find ways to give service to our island. I've lived on James Island for almost 20 years, and my wife and I are raising our 5 children on James Island. We didn't just end up here. We chose this as our home because of the beauty of James Island, the abundant natural resources that we have, and the small town feel of James Island. Despite rumors to the contrary, I want to preserve and protect James Island so that my children, your children, and our future generations can experience the James Island we all know and love. I'm running for mayor because I want to help the town of James Island mature as a municipality intent on helping its residents and usher in a new era of prosperity. I want residents to feel they have a voice in the town. I want residents to feel that their voice is heard by the town. And I want residents to believe their town is open and transparent in all of its dealings. I have had the experience to lead the town of James Island as mayor. I've served on numerous boards for local organizations and other charities. I previously served on town council for the town of James Island in 2014 and 2019. And I'm currently serving on the board of directors for James Island Charter High School, where I was elected as the treasurer for that particular board. I'm the only candidate for mayor that has an actual voting record addressing the issues that we're talking about tonight, and that we've been talking about now for a month and a half. Protecting and preserving James Island's green spaces and trees. I helped establish Kennedy Park and worked to expand the offerings and facilities in both Kennedy Park and Oxford Park. I was also involved in other votes to address protecting grand trees and maintaining our grand trees on the island. Maintaining and improving our infrastructure. I helped improve numerous drainage maintenance projects, as well as new drainage infrastructure projects to combat stormwater and tidal flooding. An ongoing focus on these maintenance issues and improvement of our drainage infrastructure is critical for this island. Providing multimodal connections across James Island. On town council, I work to repair existing sidewalks and increase sidewalk access across James Island for better pedestrian and bicycle access. These are just some of the things that I did for the 5 years that I was on James Island, or on town council. I also want to improve the quality of life for all residents of James Island. improving and expanding offerings sponsored by the town for seniors, working to improve and enhance the outdated recreational facilities on James Island. There are numerous opportunities available to enrich the lives of our residents. The town of James Island was born out of a fight. That fight is necessary, and I have the deepest respect for all the individuals who participated in multiple incorporations of the town and persevered through 3 separate dissolutions of the town. But that fight is over, and the town of James Island is here today. As residents of the town of James Island and as a town as a whole, we can disagree without being divisive. We can be passionate while still exercising patience and understanding. It's time for the town to be a municipal entity that its residents can be proud of and that other municipalities look to for ideas and solutions. It's time for the town to work toward a cooperative relationship with our municipal partners so that we can influence the trajectory of our island and the low country as a whole. I appreciate your time tonight and your willingness to be here and listen to our decisions. Thank you to the town and to the James Island Candy Club for hosting this tonight. And I look forward to your support on November 7th. And please remember that early voting starts this coming Monday, October 23rd. Thank you.
Going to just that microphone up here. So what I'd like to do there is remind you of the format. Now we're gonna go to our ask each candidate a question. We took a series of 2 questions. The first one's a little lengthy. So
I'm sorry. Sorry.
One little lengthy, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the question lengthy, broken down. If you like me to reread it, I can do that. The first question is. Over 40 is very. That's not that. So, the recent issue of the county of James Island to the application for rezoning to plan development or PD. 6 property owned by the James Island Public Service District over here on the Village Block Road. Town council will vote again on this proposal on October 19th at our council meeting tomorrow night. Have you reviewed the applicant's PD development guidelines for Marsh Walk Village that has been submitted to the town? And what is your position on this development proposal? No first question.
So. My first question is, how did James on PSP get a hold of this man? I know it has something to do with Mayor Riley. Who when they, what it was not? How did they get it?
It belonged to the first town.
Right.
Okay, so long person.
Inez went to court and got it.
Okay, I was like talking about that. Okay. Thank you, man. So my position on that is it was free.
It was deeded to the town by court order, it's free.
Yeah.
I gave, I was the one in the property through the courts for Honeydale neighborhood association.
Yeah, I'm gonna interrupt for a second. Chris, we got 4 minutes. I don't want to start where.
Okay.
2 minutes. I'm gonna give you an opportunity.
All right, so we've already started something out there right now. That's right. And that's what we need to do. That's what County James Island do. We service that other items. In my opinion, real property ought to be for the town of James Island, for everybody on the island to enjoy. It should not be sold to make 21 homes on 6.5 acres. Should not be built into condominiums, and all like that, to create traffic as well as runoff and everything that's gonna dilute all the neighborhoods. It needs to be for the town of James Island, in my opinion. But we're gonna have to take a vote on that, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm very interested in talking. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Just, real quick, they have 2 minutes. You want me to? John, or would be.
I don't need, I just want to make sure you had this full minutes, if you got some.
We said it.
Not with what I.
I know something knows the question, I'm fine with the question, so I'll need to read it. Okay.
Well, I guess this, we do have a 30-minute period after we conclude. I wanted in fairness to make sure everybody has an opportunity to speak. If there's an issue where someone might discuss it further, we can obviously do that and break off. But I don't want to infringe on other people's candidates' time. So, and so, thank you. You're good. I think.
It's a long one. I have read the proposed plan development for the Mark Walk PD. I am not in favor of that plan development for the Mark Walk PD. I think there's a lot that the town can do. It's going back in front of town council in tomorrow night. And I'm not sure if most people know that, but at the last town council meeting, it did not even come up for a vote. That's the kind of thing that doesn't need to happen. It needs to come up for a vote. Town council and the mayor are elected to address these issues and make the hard decisions. Not coming to a, not bringing that to a vote, and not making decisions, not what it's about. Why am I opposed to it? Number one, I think there are opportunities there for the town to do something else with that piece of property. The town does not have the money to spend $2 million on that piece of property. The only way to come up with that money for what the town doesn't have would be to raise taxes, which is not something I think the town needs to do. But the town does still have about $750,000 in redevelopment funds that could potentially be used at least for a portion of that property. Are there other opportunities to maybe increase that amount in other ways with other municipal partners, or to do other things that would allow for the town and potentially others involved to purchase the entire property? Possibly, but this is work that has to be done ahead of time and ahead of a PD like this coming up to town council. I think that can be done. I don't know what the vote is going to come out of the town council, or the vote will happen out of the town council tomorrow night. If it is a no and that property is still there, it's not a done deal of the town can just say we want to buy it, or we can't say we want to take it. The town cannot take it away from the PSD. The town can only buy it from the PSD. That means the PSD has to be a willing seller and the town has to be a willing buyer. If they won't sell it to us or sell a piece of it to us, then the town can't do anything to preserve that piece of property. But when it does happen, and this is something that Councilman Bowl pointed out at the meeting last month, that's not necessarily a bad plan for a development. What gets developed there could be worse than the Market Walk subdivision that's proposed. So you have to be very careful in balancing whether to approve something, what might come out of it if you don't approve it, and then how you address that at that point. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm very opposed to the market walk developments. I think it's a bad idea. I think that properties should go back to the town. I've been talking with several organizations about the possibility of buying it back from the PSD. I'm also working with several constituents who really have some great ideas as far as grants and plans to get that property back. The city has also set a precedent of borrowing forward against Greenbelt funds, so it's possible that we could borrow ahead and get more than the $750,000. Now, I'm not for taking out loans and spending money you don't have, but this is Greenbelt funds that will be coming to us in the future at no expense to taxpayers or me as a taxpayer. So I want to clear that. But that property was bought by Jones Suey with the first panel. And it was ended up with the PSD at no cost. We understand that. What my goal is to ask the PSD commissioner to please withdraw the contract. They'll be on the hook for the rest for the money the developers put in. But if we can get the funds to buy it back, there's just so many possibilities. We can make part of it wild, we can have pavilions, we can have an area for our community, part of it a park, part of it for the animals. I just really hope that we can do something about that. And when I'm hopefully elected your mayor, I plan to have a monthly meeting, morning with the mayor, come up here, have coffee with me once a month, tell me about, what you want to do up there, what some great ideas are. If you're not getting responsiveness to your phone call to people in the town, we are here to serve you. And we've got some great employees. And we're just gonna work really hard to do a great job. And the Marsh Block Village is something we don't need. We need the property back to the town and hopefully we'll make that happen. Thank you.
Our second question is, do you support the completion of the proposed traffic circle at Fort Johnson and Camp Rose? Why or why not? I think we'll leave all the. Josh, yeah.
I do support the completion of the proposed traffic circle at the intersection of Fort Johnson and Camp Rose. Just to give some history, this is a project that's been in process now for 7 years. 7 years to address what is not a very good intersection at all. I don't think anybody in this room would say that's a good intersection. It comes in at an angle, it is hard to see oncoming traffic. It is hard to get out into that road ahead of oncoming traffic and not get hit or have an accident. That's the problem. The development of the particular plan is there now to address that briefly, had multiple options. One was a smaller traffic circle, which is the proposed plan. The second one was a slightly larger traffic circle, more similar to the one that is on the end of Harborview Road, Road. And then the third one was a lighted intersection. The lighted intersection does not meet the qualifications of SDOT for traffic count. To put that in there and would include taking even more land than either one of those other two options, because they would have to include left turn lanes at that point. The second option, which is the larger traffic circle, because it is larger, would take up even more space, which means it would take out even more trees. The grand tree count for removal of that plan is 6. I do understand that there are 2 grand trees that would be taken out as a part of the first proposal and the one that is recommended for that intersection. One of those trees is already gone. And at this point in time, we're dealing with one other grand tree. There are multiple tree studies that were done, 2 of them grading those trees lower, one of them grading those trees slightly higher. But there is disagreement about those tree studies. And all of these tree studies are posted on the town website if you might like to look. But that is a safety matter for the town. That is a point in time when we can make a difference and the town can vote to approve that intersection. At this point in time, the deal with taking down one tree, I am not in favor of doing that in general, but as a safety concern for the town and our residents driving through that intersection every single day, that tree needs to come down and that intersection needs to be over.
The 2 trees came to the Board of Zoning Appeals. I was the tie vote. I voted to cut down those trees. But we put in a caveat, we put in a condition that all the municipalities had to sign and all the plans in place and they were shovel ready and ready to go. I love trees. I will do anything legally to save trees that I can. We need trees for the drainage, for all the flooding problems we have, for our air and the character of our island. However, safety has got to come first. I came out of that intersection yesterday with my friend Pat, who's here tonight, and we took our lives in our hands coming across that intersection. It's crazy. But I was the deciding vote. We need it for safety. We need that roundabout. Those trees will be mitigated through the Board of Zoning Appeals through our conditions. That's the best we can do. I do follow the law and the rules. Sometimes you have to hold your nose for a vote like that. But that's what I did because we needed for safety. However, a week later, one of those trees was taken out, and that's another long story I won't get into. At any rate, despite us saying that the rules were not followed there. I am an environmentalist, but I follow the rules. And I would ask you to please check my opponent's voting record for environmental issues. We just really need to protect our island. It is so we've lost so much to overdevelopment, to bad development. It's terrible, and I promise you, I will do whatever I can to stand here and protect our island going forward, to keep this bad development away and change zoning, change regulations, anything I can do to try to help with traffic and all the problems that we have. I'm very passionate about that. So thank you.
Thank you. Includes
So like myself, most of y'all are working all day, so I'm not really gonna waste the time about this. I'm all around about it there. My only concern was, when you're coming off Camp Road, and you're turning on a porch house, well, the school bus is gonna have enough room to go around the roundabout. That was my only concern. Yeah, you have to cut down a tree, you can cut down a tree. I mean, it's kids talking about here. So like I said, I'm all for the roundabout, not being on stoplights, and I was big on roundabouts, so David wanted in the Parkview and Fort Johnson, and I was like, man, this is terrible, and I was like, well, it's kind of good. And I'm a big fan of roundabouts now, but my big question is, well, the school bus can be able to get around it. You know, that's a big swing right there, it's very narrow right around the road. So, whatever settings something provides, be happy to look at it, and be happy to vote on what happened. But, thank you guys for listening, you know, listening back, I really appreciate y'all, thank you.
All right, that concludes the mayor candidates portion. Now I'm gonna go to the reminder format. Each council member will speak. They'll be allowed 4 minutes. There will be no questions here in this segment. It's all right here. They have 4 minutes to introduce themselves, talk about qualifications. You're welcome to address any of the questions that their fault they want to. And remind everybody we have a segment 8:30. I know some of these topics are could get spirited, so if you'd like to follow up, the candidates will have time after we allow the council members. So, right there.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you today, Shane, for opening this event, and I am proud to run this thing for, so thank you for being here. My name is Jeff Hayes, and I'm a candidate for the John Town Council. Before I get started, I'd like to thank my wife, Laurel Sue, who's here. I think we can all test the candidates, get a huge shout out support at home, and when we run as a candidate, it's not just you, it's your entire family, so thank you for that support. I'm a 25-year resident of James Island. My wife Laurel and I basically started off at Southwick Plantation and ended up on Fairview Drive. So both since we renovated a house and built a home, and basically both times basically worked with the town, with the city, the town of James Island, as well as hiring an arborist and working with that arborist on state tree plants. So we're very passionate about our grandos, maintaining the beauty of here in the island. So in those homes, we raised our 2 daughters who are both graduates of James Island High School and are both in college now. Professionally, I'm a senior IT director at the Naval Information Warfare Center in Charleston. I oversee a $75 million IT modernization portfolio for the Department of Defense. I maintain the highest clearance defense, clearance in Department of Defense. So hopefully if Uncle Sam trusts me, he can trust me as well. So I don't have big hobbies, but what I really where my hobbies lie is basically community service. So what I do basically is try to get involved in the community and try to basically make a difference, and basically where that produces progress, but basically just results. I try to basically make my results. So that currently active as a 20-year member of Harvard Presbyterian Church. James American Legion Post, 47 as a Son of American Legion member. As I mentioned, James Exchange Club, James Yacht Club. I'm on the board of directors. James Charter High School, past disciplinary committee member, and as this week former chairman of James Charter High School, where we've overseen basically some of the largest capital improvement projects there in the high school in terms of classrooms, in terms of facilities and athletic facilities. And make a pitch for 2 things. One is basically come out the football game Friday night. It's the last home game of the season. You'll see our brand new digital scoreboard. And 2, tomorrow night, we're basically hosting our first ever Hall of Fame induction for James Charter High School. It goes back to the 50s. So we're basically including 3 high schools across Charter High School: James Island, Fort Johnson, and Gresham Bay. And you may be interested in this, right? Technically, we are inducting the state championship team from 1954. So, yeah, we'll have 200 people there tomorrow night, looking forward to that event, so. That ties into basically my activity too, with the James Lyon Charter Trophy Club. So basically, started the Trophy Club last year. I'm the president of that. We're overseeing basically a lot of capital improvements in terms of basically field specifics and basically supporting our student athletes and our alumni. Based on that experience with basically education and my wife basically being in higher education as well, what I'm really passionate about is basically affordable housing here on the island. It's a shame. I talk to so many teachers and our educators, and they cannot afford to live here on the island. So many live on the island. So basically what I intended to do, and Mr. Stokes on the board with me this year, we basically looked at we gave each and every member of James Lyon Charter High School, whether it be faculty all going down to basically the janitor, a one-time $5,000 annual raise. And then we also gave them on top of that a $5,000 bonus for the year. But that's still not enough. So the way I think basically that we can crack that nut is basically just through research. We have the South Carolina Housing Finance and Development Authority. They have a program, a Heroes program, where you can basically obtain. It's not going to be through rental properties and apartments. It's going to be through augmentation with our teacher. They actually where they can basically live on the island and be a part of the community that we're a part of. So I thank you for the time tonight, and I would appreciate your support and your vote. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Warren Sloan. I've been born and raised here on the island, graduated James Lyon Charter High School, went to Presbyterian, did the Marine Corps, and then came right back here after I got out of the Corps. Started in Sloan Realty, which is a property management company for the most part, and been doing that for 23 years now. I've seen the affordable housing issues that Jeff mentioned. They are dramatic on the island. Part of the reason for that is lack of options, which goes into development, and there's a whole discussion about that. But there are some issues there that affordable housing. I look forward to expanding on some issues that Troy's been working on and the rest of the council's been working on affordable housing. They've been putting some effort into there. I look forward to helping with that. When it comes to regards to my service in the community, I've been on the James Lyon Constituent Board. I've also run the James Lyon Soccer Club, which, if you don't know, is the oldest soccer club, youth soccer club in the state of South Carolina that's continuously operated, serving over 400 families, and bringing probably the largest economic development besides the county parks to the town in the area when it comes to tournaments and things like that. I'm very proud to run that for 7 years. And make sure that it's on strong legal founding or strong standing going forward for just Divide as a club. Some of the issues that I would like to work on, I'd like to clarify some zoning issues. There are a lot of verbiage in the zoning rules that are not quite clear. That makes it difficult for people to know what they can and cannot do on their property. I would like to lead and spearhead an effort to clear that up. I'd like to talk about continued affordable housing issues, traffic issues, all of those things. Another thing that I believe that the town needs to do a better job of is respecting the other organizations on the island that have leadership roles, PSD, City of Charleston, Charleston County, and working with those organizations as best possible to service all of James Lyon. I know that as a town with only a portion of the island, we've always kind of acted as if we were the entire island. With that in mind, we build pocket parks in areas that are not in James Island particularly, with an effort to keep green space and that kind of stuff. I think we need to continue that effort. We need to show respect to our fellow communities and try to work with them instead of against them. And so I hope to continue that option or that practice going forward. That's pretty much that I have. I'm Warren Sloan, running for town James Island Town Council, and hope you vote on November 7th. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Sam. I am chairman of the neighborhood council for town of James Island, also on the planning commission right now since 2019. I've always worked with Parks and Recreation, dealing with Carroll Central back in the eighties, we're going to James Recreation, and we were pushing for sidewalks, bicycle trails, and access to places like, the rec center, Daytona County Park, places like that, people to go and have activities and, have recreation, like for the kids. Some kids were needing sidewalks and trying to get to school. As a project began way back then, and it's still working today. And these projects are pretty long term to get done. A little bit about me, went to NC State University and vocational education. ES degree. I worked at NC State University for 5 years as an education. Taught school, for 15 years. Then working with major companies like Lowe's, Cars, DJ Lipton. Then on this side, and on the other side, I chose this side back in 1980. My family is here and I have my girlfriend, grandkids, and so this is home to them. I was originally in North Carolina, I came down here. Talk about things I'm for, I am for the parks and recreation, and I think that they're out there, we've got some, we always have more. And one thing that's not emphasized too much on the parks, but I think it's coming now, is what we call ADA compliance. So people who are not physically able, maybe not mentally able, but there's things that they can do to get to the parks and have fun too. Flood control, drainage management. I don't know if you look at the big pipes that right off back here. And that's a part of the flood control and drainage on this low lying island. It's flat. One of the pipes and things were put in many years ago. They've been changed a little bit. New roads go in. Developments go in, things change and reroutes some of the water. And so we have to have a continual maintenance program to go in there and take care of that. Traffic, hey, we've got traffic, talking about more than we need. But a lot of these roads out here were not made for today's society. They were made back in mule and buggy days. So, the road was there, so they paid it, we went with it. But nowadays, we have to correct some of those mistakes, what you're talking about in traffic. Stoplights, so. There are a lot of historical sites on the island and a lot of abandoned cemeteries, and I'm all for trying to get some of those historical things documented, maybe cleaned up, brought back up to a presentable. So that people can go out and see what's going on, see what it used to be, see where we came from. It is very important people be able to do that. Other things that I like, one big thing for me is the residential communities. I'm a big fan of keeping residential communities residential. So if you talk about going to my community and putting bed and breakfast or you're renting it out, people that you don't know, not for them, keep residential. You buy it as residential, and I think it will stay as residential. Even if you get old, you need to change things.
The Community Change Club, I think example, re-election, town council, then prepared as. Last 4 years have been very educational for me. I think it was time before I ran. All I do is I did appreciate the direction that I saw the current council looking at the 29 we had. I could tell you a lot on my resume, but that's boring. Let me tell you this. I have a 5-year-old, got a 3-year-old, that's why I'm running. That's why I ran the last time I was probably running again. I want this to be a good place to raise my children. Don't want to have to go buy a house somewhere else. I love James Hawk.
And I want it to be a place they grow into and they love as well. How do we do that? I have a flow chart in my head. Called Dan's livability decision chart, okay, and it goes like this. If something comes up in front of council. I ask myself, does it promote your livability? Is it gonna make your lives better? I'm talking about those of you who live here now, those of you that we hope might live here. If it makes your life better, sidewalk safety, streetlights, sewers, drainage, I don't know, maybe put power lines underground one day, if we ever get to that. If it makes your life better, then it goes into tier 1, and we should pay attention to it. And then we should go ask y'all, what do you want to do about this? What do you want to have on your street for traffic law? What do you want to have in your neighborhood? Tell us. Then we should go hire experts and have them interpret the data that we gather. And we should listen to other people. And then you all come in here to town hall and you send us emails. And you call me. And you tell me what you want me to vote for. And that's what I do. And that's what I did do it last week. Sometimes, like the Bill Club project out here, I don't agree with what you tell me. That property is going to sell until y'all make the PSP take it off the market. And some of them are sitting in here right now, chiming into people's speeches. The guy that came forward wanted a development in there. It was a very beautiful project, it had great floors and everything, but the neighborhood said no. So I voted the way you told me. And that's what I intend to do, is put me back here. I'm just gonna ask you, what do you want? Does it promote your livability? And if it does, how do we help? If it doesn't promote your livability, then I'm gonna put it into a side category and say, after we're done, sidewalks, safety, streetlights, sewers, power lines, hurricane preparedness. After we finish all those things, we'll come back over here to the second column and look at those things that are the next, that are the non-priority matters. This is a thankless job. All these people up here deserve attention. I hope you will look at us. And I'm not gonna bore you with our resume, it's on the internet where you can go look at it. I sue the government. You don't have to every time it's. You can tell you what, you can do well, you can't do well, but I don't know what to look for it, but look us all up, everyone's got a Facebook page, everyone's got less, they should have less. That's all out here. Those of you that are here right now are people in the neighborhoods who I know are gonna go home and go tell your neighbor what you saw here tonight. It's important that I get your vote. But if you really want to make the outcome of the election, I need your neighbor's vote, your friend's vote, your cousin's vote, and everybody else around you. I want to say, in the 2019 election, I got seated with about 800 votes. Okay, that was in direct contact with y'all and the people that voted. So, thank you for hearing us. I think everybody here deserves a round of applause just for asking to come work for you all. And I appreciate you all being here tonight and spreading the word about what you heard. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Miano. I am running for re-election to the town council. I ran in 2019, not because I wanted particularly to be in town politics. I had been a zero resident, 2 years running in the middle school. Most of all, I'm a caregiver, and a wife, and a mom, and those are my loves. Someone asked me to run in 2019, and I did. And then started another thing I thought, which is helping my community. I'm never afraid to ask the hard questions. I'm never afraid to stand up and do what I think is right. I'm never afraid to go to every citizen's house that ever asks me to look at their drainage issues. I'm not afraid to fight so that some man can have their crap poured in the last half of his dish. And I'm always honest. I'm not afraid, and I don't lie. I'll tell you the real truth, and I work with other municipalities, and I always have. I'm also not afraid to stand up when other municipalities don't behave themselves as they have in the past. So I just want you to know that I will always reach out to me to do, and I always welcome your questions. And if you choose to reelect me, it would be my honor to serve you for another 4 years. And what else can I tell you? I'm not gonna give you like the rest of the stuff, I guess they kind of did already. But I'm always approachable, I always listen, I always care. I'm willing to go and visit wherever you are, hear everything you have to say. As far as the plan development at Marsh Walk, here's what I do have to say about that. I think special exceptions are like how you boil a frog. And we give too many of them away all the time. And next thing you know, what is a special exception? It's the same thing you do with everybody else. Everybody gets changed the zoning, da, 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 da. I was willing to stand up for the people of White House litigation. I don't care if their house was built in 1965, mine was built in 1974. So what if they're on slab? If we do this development, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna flood. Is that okay? No, it's not. And somebody has to stand up and say that. Somebody has to say, I'm so sorry. I want people to be able to be profitable with their property. However, you don't sacrifice your neighbors. Do you know how many places I went to that they had been in an established neighborhood for like so long? And then a new development came, and guess what they did? The old people, the old development, they flooded. And what did the new development do? We don't know. It wasn't our fault. Well, man, come on. Let's everybody be realistic. It's a problem with planning and draining and all of that, and we can't keep doing this to our citizens who've lived here forever. Most of us, I've been here since right before you go. I got here like really right before you go. Not my best move, but I love it. I love it. And I would never move. I have people call me all the time to sell my house. Where am I supposed to go? Where would I go? Where could I sell my house and move to with the same amenities that I have? I couldn't, because affordability is an issue. And I hope to address that as well. I've talked about ADUs to help keep people in their homes and allow for college students, working people, teachers, firemen, first responders, people that have a place where they can live and it still supports the existing community without being addressed. So anyway, thank you guys for listening so much, and I would really appreciate your vote. So have a great evening.
Hi, my name is Louis Dodson. I'm your neighbor here on James Island. It's a small island. We're a community. We can argue about stuff. We can throw rocks at each other's fences, but overall, we are a small community, and that small community is on an island. What am I passionate about for town of James Island? Passionate about the problems of living on that. It's drainage, whether that's stormwater, hurricane water, or runoff water. These are things that we need to handle in our community. And we can't handle them on our own. We need to work with Charleston County, with City of Charleston, with JIPSC. These are important organizations that are part of us, and we can work together on that. And we can work together again because we are a community, small community. I moved here nearly 20 years ago. Before that, I traveled around a lot. I lived in Australia, New Zealand, England, Italy, North Carolina, Mississippi, where I'm originally from, Louisiana, Colorado. And I moved away twice from Charleston, and I immediately came back because this is my home. And shortly after graduating from college, I moved here and made this my home. So I lived here nearly half my life as well. I love it. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and like Dan, what I do for her, for my wife and my family. James Island is a beautiful place. I want to raise my daughter here, and I want to raise my grandkids here. And I want it to be the place that I fell in love with and couldn't. So what else can we do? Stormwater, drainage, livability. Livability is very important, whether that's people that speed down my street. I live live right next to Dock Street Park, and when I see the street down that street, it drives me insane. Traffic on Folly Road, it's awful. Growing up in Jackson, Mississippi, there's a road called Lakeland, at least the traffic moves on Folly, it's bad. But we can do better. I've worked with South Carolina Department of Transportation to do different traffic studies on Folly Beach. And there's ways to help that, to work hard to make sure that it is a safe place to drive with our families in our car. Speeding, traffic, these are important issues, drainage, anything that's livability for us. We don't have a huge crime issue, we work well with the sheriff department that regulates our community. And I applaud them and thank them so much for what they do. They're quick to respond here because we're outside of City of Charleston. I got in an accident on the bridge going over the James Island River, and it was an argument of who was going to show up. Because we were on the bridge, and it was great to see the sheriff department show up and be a part of that. Again, these are people and organizations that we must work with. I believe in representative democracy. We're here to represent the people. I will do what the people say. So I would like to know what it is that I can do to earn your vote. I believe it is an honor to do so. I believe in community service. It's very important to me. My grandfather was mayor of a small town, got an uncle that was city councilman, my brother's a police officer. I believe in community service and I'll be honored to serve this community. So thank you.
Everyone, like, during my mom, I look like forward though, to know that, I don't know, it's 2012. For that, I, worked on force incorporation of the town, please, going door to door, getting signatures. Reissued the food formally has been affordable housing. County and I work very closely on that. The county has a good program on started rehabilitating homes, rehabilitating abandoned homes that we get funding for and go for the local and affordable. Another thing is training our work staff, try to identify and rectify some of these training costs. We have a lot of distance to go that we can make good progress. And speed, traffic control. The big advocate of the radar signs and Fort Johnson, I hope to have a lot more of them. My creed comes from words that Joe mentioned. Said he might not really agree with someone, ideology or philosophy, but you gotta respect them, gotta understand them. And that will allow you to get common ground, consensus, and compromise on the issue facing your community. Now, as I mentioned, I work with something military affordable housing. And I will put the earth with Councilman on getting a plan display to basically represent all veterans. And he's very helpful with that. And for working, he's going to cause 9.5 million better and the better you want. So that's what I decided to try to work with everybody to build a consensus. And if you let me, we'll work 7. You have my place, I will work strong in the middle, try to achieve maximum. So everyone needs to come out and lead.
Okay, that concludes the portion of the program. 8 o'clock right on the nose, one small pool call. But hopefully everyone will be able to get something out of this tonight. Just to remind you again, the candidates will go to their stations. Your opportunity, if you want to follow up with questions or anything of that nature with them. One note, there is a meeting, the town council tomorrow night. Bill's last meeting as mayor, and I wanted to thank you for everything you've done over the years. appreciate it, it's, we do. I think all the candidates, short notice, they were able to show you, and then we have up here, how much it means to them. All of them made arrangements to be here tonight, I want to thank them. Again, I'm Doug Allen with the Exchange Club of James Island. I'm gonna hang around with anyone, we're looking for members too, so. If you have any questions, so thank you all for being respectful and being a great audience, okay? Thank you, all right? Thank you, guys.